All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to an early edition of This Week Unloaded. Scotsman wasn't doing his show tonight and got to get up early in the morning tomorrow. So I figured, well, since he's not doing his show, I'll go a half hour earlier. So here we are. With us so far tonight, we have Mr. Gizzard Gary. How are you tonight?
I'm all right. Thanks for having me.
Yep. And next we have Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast. How are you, sir?
Doing all right. Slight headache, but nothing I can't live with.
Yeah, don't let Misfits hear you call her a headache, man. You really have a headache.
Oh no, that's a serious headache. That's not a slight headache. This is just one of them little ones where it sticks there and you know it's there. It's just enough to kind of annoy you. She's way worse than that.
Oh, okay.
So glad she's on the phone with somebody else at the moment.
Yeah, you would be in so much trouble. Because we all know she lingers in the background whenever you're on here.
Yeah.
She's going to come in when she gets off the phone, and Rob's going to get hit upside the head with a rolling pin. What did you say about me while I was on the phone?
Hopefully not, man. But she just got out of surgery like a week and a half ago, and the stuff they've had her on, man, the first night home, she was freaking out about everything. Like, I don't know what's what. Even a nurse was like, yeah, this might cause some problems or whatever. She took it, tried it anyway at the hospital, got her home, and man, everything was the end of the world. I'm glad that was over quick. So
hopefully
definitely better now.
Yeah, hopefully nothing too serious.
Yeah, it's just like we ain't talking about nothing. Not even what the temperature's like outside.
No, I mean with her having that surgery, hopefully it was nothing too serious.
Oh yeah, that was spinal surgery. So what was it? C5, C6 with a fusion. So
oh man.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, thankfully it wasn't
See, you got to get her a cement mixer, Rob. She can't.
Yeah, I'm not happy now. Well, she's talking like she feels like a new person. So I'm hoping she still feels that way after the drugs wear off. Might not need a cement mixer. She might be able to handle 2 loads. Isn't that a great outdoor show coming up here?
Yeah, that started yesterday.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Yeah.
How long does that go for? A week?
It runs to next weekend.
Okay. Were you planning on attending this year?
Yeah, we're leaving to go up there tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're after the adventure that last year's opening weekend was, we decided we're gonna give it a few days.
Yeah, it might be wise.
You didn't know he was going to be there.
I got like the same rules with fairs or a new amusement park or whatever. Let it run a few times, make sure all the pins are put in place before we go hop on there.
Yeah, Val was up there already. He was up there yesterday. I think maybe today.
Okay. Well, guy never sent me an email. Something's with that dude, He's always like, "Oh, we gotta hang out, da 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 da, whatever," and then the dude's like, a few hours away and never says nothing. And damn, he's from New York. You figure it wouldn't be that hard to meet up.
Yeah, right. I mean, New York's only but so big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weird shape, but
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, but yeah.
Almost, if you look at it a certain way, it almost looks like a platform pump or something, you know, like a woman's shoe or something. Really weird shape. But considering where it's at, they couldn't exactly make it a square. Like you go out west, everything's squares until you get the west coast.
PA's pretty square compared to New York. I mean, they could have screwed up a little bit of their, you know, uh, lines in a sense to help us square out a little more. But I don't blame them for not trying to. Yeah, New York as a whole, we pretty much suck. So
Mm-hmm.
politically, anyway.
Yeah. Well, your problem is you got Lake Erie screwing up the whole side of the state. If you square off New York, almost a quarter of the state would be in the middle of the lake.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, we got the portion that drops down by New York City, so there's a little sliver off that way too. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to say. Who knows? Who knows what people are thinking when they're making maps? So
Now, I guess we should say hi to the audience. Kingpin was out there first, followed by Buck Stanley, Mr. Tactical Fud himself, and then Krabby Turtle and Patriot in the Dark. And Gizzard's out there as well as being in here. Ron Wayne is out there. Chris from the 740 and Vanessa Kitty are both out there. That's about it for now. Remember, if you don't say anything, we don't know you're out there. The YouTube thing that Alan B. Pro always uses isn't always accurate. So, yeah, let us know you're out there. And if you're over on Twitch, no, not Twitch, Twitter watching, let us know if you're out, say something over there too, so we know you're over there watching as well. Yeah, if anybody wants to go over and check to see if the Twitter's working, that will be at Unloaded Media over there on Twitter, or X as they call it now. So figured paid for the month, might as well see if it works. Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? I have nothing. What else is new, right?
yeah, you're unprepared. Unprepared, man. Figure you'd have a couple articles or something. I don't know. I mean, I can come up with stuff probably, but don't have
Yeah,
anything on top of my
if
head.
I leave it up to you, we'll be talking about poop-powered cars again.
Hey, it makes sense. Even Jason agrees. Probably half your audience from last time. I mean, like I said, just missing some cash for proof of concept. So
I don't know how many people I had comment or send me an email saying that was like one of the funniest episodes of anything they ever saw on YouTube.
Well, now it's funny. In 20 years, it's gonna be like, why didn't I think of that? Especially the motorhome thing. Not to get on that, but that's Jason had a great idea with that. That's
Krabby out there wants us to talk wrestling. There's Bald and Curious. We were just talking about you being up there at the Great American Outdoor Show. Was it as crazy this year on the first day as it was last year? About last year, it was a madhouse up there.
So the only wrestling I like to talk about involves females.
Well, he's
Could be
bringing
mud, could be oil. It could just be a big bed. I don't know, but it's not. It's not the guys in spandex.
Oh, Snob's out there too,
running around.
Well, he's not specifically the wrestling part that Krabby wants me to talk about. Vince McMahon is potentially going to prison this time. The feds are investigating him on federal sex abuse charges.
You got to go to prison. Federal's the way to go. You almost have regular clothing. You get access to tablets, TVs. It's way better than the state. So if you got to go, federal's better off.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know if Bald is trying to get into wrestling or not. He said somebody told him he looked good in spandex.
Your mama
You've met,
lied to you, Bald. She lied.
yeah, I mean, I've met Bald and Curious in person. I think you have too, Rob. I mean, I don't
Oh yeah.
know.
Yeah. I know he's got
I
like a
have
small
too, as
muscle.
far as that goes. I met
Oh
him
yeah,
just
you
last
did,
week.
didn't you? Yep.
Yep.
Forgot about that. I forgot he went at the SHOT Show this year.
Yep.
He does that male stripper sideshow hustle thing now and then, for ammo or whatever. So but I still don't think spandex are the right look. Yeah.
Val's got a little comment for you there, Rob. Says you fall asleep picturing him in spandex.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say more of a nightmare or something. I don't know. It's just not my
Like
cup of
wake up
tea.
out of sleep, maybe. Like,
Maybe. I mean, personally, him in spandex and me sleeping shouldn't be in the same room to begin with. So I don't know where he's coming up with this stuff. But hey,
I don't know. Well, he says you will tonight anyway. I don't know, man. He might be sending you pictures, Rob. You might want to check for you to open up any
oh
emails
boy,
or anything.
yeah, I don't need those photos.
Oh boy. We've been live for all of 13 minutes so far, and we've gone down this rabbit hole.
You started it.
I didn't start it.
You
Bald and
started it.
Curious out there started it.
So I don't know. I got a question. I guess Gary's in here. He went to SHOT. Why does everybody get sick at SHOT Show, man? I know the typical answer. Well, there's just so many people from all over the country. But come on now. Every time you guys go, people are getting sick.
You go into a hall of 55,000 people and spend basically 8-9 hours a day for 4 days, head to toe with all these people. I mean, it's just a madhouse. The chances of you not getting something are pretty slim. I mean, people are coughing on you, pushing up against you. You're basically sharing about maybe 10 bathrooms in the whole place. You know, it's just a lot of people. Plus, you're wearing yourself down with all the walking and everything you do, so your antibodies and stuff are going to be lower because you're walking, you're sweating, you're breathing harder than you normally might be because you're getting a lot of exercise in and stuff like that. So all those things go into it. I mean, it's young and old. Don't seem to matter who you are. Not everybody gets sick, but a good number of people do.
And I've been to the Great American Outdoor Show 3 times and got sick once going there. And you got hundreds of thousands of people that pass through there in the course of the week. I think they said last year something like 300 and some thousand people attended the show over the course of the week.
Well, what do you think it's gonna be like on Friday?
No, I was nice, and I would have made my daughter proud because I didn't mention that probably 20% of the people that were there were Chinese. But
Yeah, I can believe it.
if you went in the basement, you'd have believed it.
You got
I think Chinese American or Chinese.
Chinese national.
Mostly, yeah, mainland China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese
That's
companies.
where
that
a
go.
lot of our stuff is produced.
Okay. I know, a lot of people from other countries like that tend to flock to things similar. Same thing with like Rod of Iron. There's a lot of people there that have never experienced even holding a gun before, let alone shooting one. So they find out they can go to a place, get hands on, and shoot a gun for free. They're all about it. So I assume there's a lot with that. But as also, as you said, a lot of the production or products might have, there might be an attachment in some sense to that as well. So for
Yeah,
another reason.
SHOT Show is just industry and media. There's no general public there, so you can't
Okay.
just walk in from the street and get a ticket. You have to be attached to the industry somehow or be legitimate media.
Yeah. I just assume, a lot of people probably have connections through other people, like you're stating.
Oh yeah, that
Somebody,
happens.
like brother has this company, or they help out with this or whatever. So
Sure.
I know if I'm in another country and get a chance to see something we don't experience here, I'm probably going to take it, just out of curiosity, in some senses. So, yeah.
Well, you can always see if you have any relatives over in Europe and go to EWA. That's the European version of SHOT Show.
Yeah,
They get stuff over
I
there.
got a hard time traveling to like, NRA or something here in the U.S. I'm not trying to go to Europe. Not without a paycheck for sure.
They get stuff over there that we don't get here because they actually have manufacturers over there that don't export to the U.S.
Yeah, lots of stuff both ways, technically. Lots of vehicles we don't get either, which kind of ticks me off in some cases. So, matter of fact, Toyota just came out with a brand new truck. It's what I guess you can consider modular. Maybe I'm using the wrong word, but you can order it how you want it. Comes with different body styles, all this stuff. It's a basic truck, up to modern standards in a sense, minus all the extra tech and comforts, and it's for sale for $10,000. Full warranty, all that comes with it. So if anybody's been out there hearing the rumors, they did come up with a brand new $10,000 truck that's supposed to basically take a corner of the market for small vehicles. Unfortunately, for some reason, they don't think we would benefit from it in the U.S. So we're not going to get it, which honestly almost had me punch a hole in the wall the other day. So I didn't, but it kind of just pisses me off. I don't understand what. I get the understanding. I guess they're worried about it cutting. Their other, the Tundra, stuff like they're worried about it cutting out of their own pocket. But, there's a lot of people out there I think would be better off with a smaller truck. Even myself at times, I've considered it, depending what you do. And, it's a lot easier to park, better on gas, parts are cheaper. I can see a benefit to that. Or people that have 2-3 vehicles and just want a truck to move stuff around with or something. $10,000 with a warranty for a capable vehicle. Man, that's almost like a dream, It's just unfortunate that for some reason, they're not going to bring it to the U.S. I think it's called the MVO, if anybody's interested or something. I mean, it's, if you just Toyota 10K truck, you'll find it. But
by the time the American government imposed their taxes on it and everything else, it's no longer a $10,000 truck.
Probably not. And that's another topic is, can you buy one, have it sent to Mexico and then bring it into the U.S.
Well, heck, they can make it
Long
here and they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but now you're going to spend as much as a full-size truck in the U.S. So, doesn't make much sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got to pay. Yeah, because then you got the union tax.
Well, but yeah, it kind of ticks me off. I'd like to see a truck like that available. I can see it businesses, delivery services, shoot, even the old lady that just feels better sitting up higher, whatever the case is. No justification for a truck other than it's bigger. Or grandpa that just needs to run some tools around here or there, you know what I mean? Or stuff like that. I can see a place for it. So sad, disappointing. I guess we all got to buy trucks that cost the same as a cheap house or something.
Yeah, some of those things cost 2 to 3 times what my house cost.
So it blows my mind, especially when they'll tell you they're made for like 7 years now. So when you break that out, how much you're paying per year, I don't know how people do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all like nice things, but when you compare that to maybe let's see, $6,000 I've spent in the last 18 years of my truck, including buying it, it just don't add up to me. I really don't care if you think my truck's ugly, personally, not with the money I'm saving. I really don't. So,
No, it's
I
not that
don't
we
know.
think your truck's ugly, Rob. We think it's old.
Yeah, but hey, bet your wife's old, so should you just throw her away? You got reputation, you got scars, you got the common issues, easy to deal with. My truck sounds funny. I usually know exactly what it is right off the jump. Where a newer vehicle, you got to get to know her. So I don't know. I mean,
If you get rid of a truck, you don't have to have a lawyer, and you don't have to pay the next owner for a year in alimony either.
True.
Yeah.
But some old things are worth keeping. Grandparents, tools. Some of the older tools
My
are just
grandparents are
ones
dead,
that
man.
won't
So
compare.
Yeah, mine too.
But it's the point I'm trying to make. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's bad. Yeah. So I don't know. But I guess people would rather pay 5-10 times as much to be shopping for a new one in half the time, I guess.
yeah. Paul Curious Actor says starting price is $10K. Doubts there'll be any single truck for that price. Yeah, people are gonna get options and stuff.
Yeah, there's different bed options like flatbed, stake body. There's like a camper bed setup. There's off-road setup. There's several that they've got up already. So they're already out apparently in China. So in China, a couple other countries are already out and about in the wild, as they say. So there's images and photos and different things that you can find. But yeah, it's kind of nice that you could do, order it for what you want it for. If it's a small business or if you're just planning on, picking up some furniture now and then, whatever the case is. So it's kind of cool. Or even apparently hauling cars from some of the pictures. So looked like they had a car hauler set up on it too. So kind of nice. My opinion. I mean, I'd probably have a new truck if I thought they were priced reasonable. I really don't want all these bells and whistles in my work truck, so I don't see the point in paying extra for them. But everybody's different, so.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, I just checked over on the Twitter/X side of things, and the stream is up and running. So I don't know if anybody's over there watching, but it is up and running. Yeah, no comments or anything over there, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could like run videos over there or whatever. So I've never been there since it was Twitter, Twitch, or X, personally. But so couldn't tell you how that works, or if people are watching in the shadows or anything. I got no idea.
Well, Twitter and Twitch are two different things, man.
I just they both kind of sound like symptoms of a drug problem to me. So I don't know.
I always thought Twitter was the speech that came out of a twit, but
I thought that was a quiff.
No, that'll be from a different word.
Okay. My bad.
A twit is a baby goldfish, and it's also used as another word for idiot, dumbass, that kind of thing. Somehow, somewhere along the lines, stupid people started being called baby goldfish. I don't know. One of those things that happens. It's like another word, a synonym for happy came to mean homosexual. So who knows how this stuff progresses. English is weird that way.
Yeah, English slang, I guess the times, because I can remember people stating like gay was meaning happy, but if you say that today, that's not what people think. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Gary put out a comment over there on the Twitter side. See how long, till I get banned over there again. Yes. Whatever you do, if you're on Twitter, do not say murders should get the death penalty. That's what I got banned for over on Twitter. And now I'll probably get banned again for saying it again. Well, this time I actually voiced it and not just typed it out.
Now Twitter's X now?
Yeah.
And if you get banned for that?
That's what I got banned for over there. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
all the stuff they were talking about with banning, and supposedly that's why he bought the thing, and now it's just, you gotta follow under my rules. Like, it's the same
And
shit.
that was
just
after he bought it.
Person. Yeah.
That wasn't that
That's
long
funny.
before he changed the name to X that I had gotten banned.
Great.
It was like a couple of weeks before, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think depending, some I don't know, some people deserve to die, personally. So I'm not gonna name anybody or nothing like that, but murder, why? What was the intention of the murder? You know what I mean? What was the reasoning? So in some cases I'd say, people should die, eye for an eye in that sense, or let the family deal with them and make the decision. So it's not on you or court, you know what I mean? In a sense, tie them up in a courtyard with the family. Maybe they make it out, maybe they don't. I don't know. Don't, as they say, don't F around and you won't have to find out. But personally, some cases, I definitely agree. I don't see the point in rehabilitation, why we're paying for stuff. I've known people in prison, all this type of stuff. It's prison usually most of the time makes people worse. That's all it really does. So I don't see the point in paying for it just for them to get out, and then we got the same problems again. And then who pays for it? We pay for it. We pay for it when they're on the streets. We pay for it when they're locked up. I just don't see the point. If you can't get it right, just like a damn rabid dog, just put your ass down. But it should be cut and dry. Shouldn't be any, could have been, should be cut and dry.
Real quick, Thor's Axe is out there, and so is Bernie Sanchez. So evening, fellas. And to your point, not every murder would get the death penalty. That's why we have capital or first-degree murder. There's different degrees. It's the most serious homicides are the ones that carry the death penalty.
Yeah, I think there's definitely differences. You're being inconsiderate, drunk, driving home, run over somebody's kids. You should probably just be forfeited at that point. You get a little heavy-handed with the local child abuser or pedophile, and I'm not that upset with you. Just what it is. might not be upset at all personally, but it all depends on the situation.
Well, Bernie, that turn the other cheek, that gets taken out of context quite a lot.
Yeah, and then we end up with these revolving cycles, the same people back and forth. I mean, how many times have people got to screw up? Yeah, when your screw ups involve permanently disabling or affecting other people, innocent people, it shouldn't be a thing. You screw up, hurt yourself, that's just one thing. You screw up and continuously screw up and hurt others, yeah, you're negative on society. Personally, don't see why we're gonna pay for you.
If you read the whole passage where the Bible where the turn the other cheek comes from, Christ isn't saying not to defend yourself. People take it out of context. Oh, see, Jesus says not to defend yourself. That's not what he was saying. The whole purpose of that passage was there were people over there in Israel at the time period that he was alive there in the physical sense, who were taking the law of Moses and the eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth part of that and applying it to somebody verbally insulting them and saying that that was cause for them to do physical harm to the person. That is what Christ was speaking to, was escalating the situation where it didn't need to go. Because if you remember later on in right before the crucifixion, Christ tells his disciples to go buy swords. And if they don't have one, to sell their cloak to get one.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that part. That's one of the famous parts. It's a good point to bring up in certain conversations or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Forgiveness, obviously, depending on what it is, life's a lot easier in some cases if you can forgive and move on. Doesn't mean forget, but when it comes to kids, old people, certain violent crimes, I think you kind of forfeit our humanity with your actions. So you want to be an animal, don't be mad if you're treated like one. I'd say the same goes for my own kids. My own kids, my own family, my mother, dad. You want to run around being one of them people. It's almost my duty to take your ass out. Like, I shouldn't even have said that, but that's what it should be. Like, other cultures, people don't do this type of stuff. There's respect, there's values, or your family might take your ass out. Not that I condone all that, but I'm just stating, when people are a problem, they should be dealt with. Don't matter if it's your kid, your lover, your brother, whatever the hell it is, they should be dealt with. You can't just have a menace running loose and know about it.
Yep. Another interesting thing, going back to the whole turn the other cheek and people saying about, well, it's only property. Property shouldn't matter. You shouldn't have to hurt somebody for stealing. That's trying to steal your property. Well, go back to the law of Moses and what does it say? If somebody's breaking into a house and they lose their life, the homeowner shall have no fault on them.
Yeah. It's not just that even, but how much time, energy, property usually equates to money, which equates to your time and energy to acquire that, to transfer it over to, from money to whatever you have. That's nobody's right to take. I mean, personally, I'll fight for my stuff. I mean, I've fought for $20 in a sense. So I don't even care. Like, not for 20, but when people, tempted getting mugged or whatever, like, I'm not giving up nothing. You're gonna have to take it. So, and say, well, it's not worth your life. I mean, it's more about principle. You just give the bullies what they want, and what's ever gonna stop them? You know what I mean? I'd rather die with values than die a punk, personally.
Yeah, I had gotten into this guy. We'll say, I'm trying to think of the right word. Hell, we'll just call it what it was. It was a goddamn argument with somebody about the whole, you're valuing your property more than somebody else's life. I was like, I looked at him and said, no, they value my property more than they value their life.
Exactly. It's just like you don't sign up to die for your country. You sign up to make them die for theirs.
Yes, famous quote from George S. Patton. It's not a soldier's job to die for his country, it's to make the other poor bastard die for his.
It's all perspective. Yeah, I mean, people didn't do stupid stuff. Stupid things wouldn't happen to them. That goes for all of us, honestly. So don't put yourself in a situation to find out,
Yep. Thorzax brings up the fact that if your wife was caught cheating under the law of Moses, you'd take her to your father-in-law's house and stone her to death right there on his doorway. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, it's not just Muslim in a sense either, but Japanese. I mean,
that's not Muslim. That's
family's life saving. It's honorable to take yourself out. There's a code that which honestly I wish Americans kind of went more to. I wish you cared about your family heritage and how you're perceived, how you carry yourself reflects towards your kids in school or vice versa, all this type of stuff. It all makes a difference, but most people just, they don't care. They don't even, sometimes you wonder if they even care about themselves. So let alone where they came from, which honestly, I think it's a disrespectful for everybody. You can look at that as far as even back to our founding fathers, probably be rolling in their grave. They seen the stuff that goes on today. I mean, the taxes we got compared to what we went to war for. I mean, holy crap, it's a lack of respect for all those who fell before us. It should mean something to people.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, I want to say hello to the Fence Dad and Mr. Knives and put up the chocolate bars for him. He's out there for the free food.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
I'm all for free food. Where's it at, man?
I don't know. You can come here in April for my youngest daughter's wedding. You can have free food there, Gary.
I didn't get the invite.
She hasn't even got the invite sent out yet. You want an invite? I'll send you one. She's like, who's this old guy showing up? I don't know him.
Yeah.
As long as you're nice and stuff, they won't even bother you. You guys ever crash a party like that or something? Or you just showing up somewhere, or maybe you thought you were at the right place and it took like hours to figure out you weren't?
There was this one time many years ago that I and my wife were at I think it was her 10th high school anniversary party or something like that. And it was in St. Louis in this big convention hall that had lots of separate big convention rooms in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at this high school reunion, I and a bunch of her friends and stuff, and we might have had a bit too much to drink, but we were at the main lobby, and you could see there were entrances to all the different rooms in this lobby, and right next door was a wedding reception. And we were kind of looking through their doors. It's like, oh, they got food. And one of the guys was like, you think they'd notice if we walked in? So, I don't know. Let's find out. So about 10 of us walked in and started going through the buffet line.
Yeah. When I was in high school, a friend and I in high school, his dad, he owned an old pickup. I don't remember what year it was. It was an old Chevy. you know, Sanford and Son style body shape and everything, you know, that era. And he restored it, and it had the old school like tow truck boom on the back and everything. And he took it to a car show at the convention center in downtown Pittsburgh. In the upstairs level, there was a wedding going on. And after the small little car show that we were at, a bunch of us were still there. We were cleaning up and everything, getting things cleaned up. And the bride and groom come down the stairs and invite us all up to the reception. Like, we got plenty of food if you guys want some. We need to get rid of it. So yeah, we all went and had a real nice dinner at the wedding reception.
There you go. I think the first one I crashed, I was probably like 6 years old. The like church across the street from the grocery store, they were throwing like rice. I thought it was candy or something. So of course, as a kid, I moseyed my way over there from the parking lot, and next thing you know, you got this black kid in these white people's wedding photos and shit, and they're probably all like, "Who the hell is this?" Like, what's all over? Nobody said nothing, you know. As an adult, yeah, I've stumbled into the wrong place a couple times, and it's always cool. Technically, never really have a problem. So, I don't know. I've never been like a crasher per se, where it's like that's my motive to go out and do something like that. But it's come up a time or two, and never had a problem. Just polite, respectful, and usually great conversation. No different than a function I'm supposed to be at, technically. So nobody knows in those situations, who you're with or this or that. So you can kind of have fun with it if you really wanted to. But yeah.
Yeah, when I was in high school, we did the parade. Well, I wasn't supposed to, but there were a group of us from the high school junior RTC were chosen to march in the parade, walking home the troops from Desert Shield, Desert Storm. And we had just had a function the day before with the drill team. And a couple of us stayed over a night at my friend's house because he lived closer to the area, and we just were going to walk over. And I was just going to walk over and watch, but we were all in uniform still. And I essentially crashed the parade. I volunteered to help out with Pitt's parade thing that they were doing there, and I wasn't intending to. It just happened. It's like, hey, you're in uniform. Come on, you can help us out. So, yeah, I can say I crashed a parade.
Nice. I lost a kid at a parade once.
Jeez. It's not hard to do. If you think about it, that really wouldn't be all that hard to do.
The same thing. They were throwing candy, and she was tiny, and you got everybody sitting on the curb, everybody there, parents are talking, this and that, literally a minute goes by, and you're like, uh-oh, I located her. She was down the street a little ways, running with the candy truck. So, but that was a scary moment. Let me tell you, like, might be the scariest of my life, and that says a lot, in my opinion, to me. But because it's somebody else and they're a child. You know what I mean? It's holy crap. That's like getting hit by a truck.
Yep, been there. We were at Idlewild Park up in Ligonier, PA. The kids were, our oldest daughter was in kindergarten, had just started kindergarten that year. She was in kindergarten. And our son was in preschool, and our youngest hadn't started school yet. So my wife was with our son and our youngest daughter in those like little fountain things that they have for kids to play in, to splash up water. And our youngest and I, we went and we were going to go over into the swimming pool. Come back over, she's sitting there with our youngest daughter. I look around, I was like, "Where's Sean?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "She let him walk off. Thank God one of the security people found him, and then we were able to get him and everything." But yeah, that's scary when you're kids are little and they just wander off, and you're like, where the hell did they go? And your heart just starts racing. That is a scary moment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Worst part was my lady wasn't even there. You know what I mean? So to me, so it was all me. I was there with her friends actually. So we all met up. So yeah, it was definitely not something I wish upon anybody. So it's definitely a pretty bad feeling. And you may have nightmares for a while afterward.
So what
How
else
about you,
we got?
Gary? You ever lost a kid?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I tried to a few times, but never successfully. No, don't think so. I got lost one time. I and my folks were on vacation. I was just like 5 or 6 years old. We were on our way to DC, and folks stopped somewhere to get gas. And I remember I went to the bathroom, then I was looking at this pop machine, and I was walking around for quite a while, and then I heard this car pull in. My dad come in the station. He says, "There you are. Where the hell you been?" I said, "Just standing here looking at this." He said, "Well, we took off and left," and said, "Then we noticed you weren't in the back seat, so we had to come back here and get you." I guess they just got in the car, thought I was in there. I don't know. I got in trouble, but not my fault.
Well, we lost our youngest daughter at Walmart one time too. Now I think about it. We were looking at something and she saw something she wanted to look at, and so she walked off.
I remember we went to, it's one of those company outings at the Worlds of Fun theme park up here in Kansas City, which typically has, thousands of people there. So we had like a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I was afraid we might get separated from them. So Angie bought these two bright neon green t-shirts and put on the kids. So I've got a picture of us, and the two kids are in these neon green t-shirts and white shorts, and both the kids just hate that picture. But it worked. I mean, you couldn't lose them.
Yeah, those the what do they call the harness that you buy for like dogs and cats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The kid leashes.
They had them for kids. My wife got one.
Oh man, I get that if like your kids are slow or got some issues, or you're taking other people's kids like that somewhere to a busy place, I totally get it. But man, it seems like a lot of the parents are just lazy ass parents that don't want to discipline their kids, so they keep them chained up like a pet. Yeah, so
Well, no, she did that because when our son was still in Head Start, if she were to go for a walk with him, and she would take our youngest daughter, who was a baby at the time, it just made it easier for her.
yeah, it's wrong. I mean, I guess to generally label something, but in a sense, like I said, it's most of the stuff that I see. I mean, it's the same thing where you see parents pushing a 3-year-old in a stroller to go 2 blocks, like have the kid walk. I don't know. I mean, you'll see 6-year-olds getting pushed around the fair in a stroller. It's like, what the hell is going on here? Are you still breastfeeding too? I mean, I don't know. I think some parents just like the easy way out. I don't know.
Yeah. In her case, she could hold on to the stroller and then have him on, basically, like you said, the leash, and he could walk beside the stroller and stuff. But it would also keep him from running off, trying to chase some stray cat or something into the road or what have you.
Yeah, we're hard asses. I know, like our kids bolt for the street, you're getting tackled and probably an ass whooping, and then you ain't gonna do that again. But that's just how we handle things. I know everybody's different, but You start young, it ain't a problem as they get older. So they already know the problem. All you gotta do is give them the look. They don't push it, you know. But yeah, it's just, you know, I don't know. The car is gonna do a hell of a lot worse to you than I'm gonna do. Yeah, I put it that way. So if you didn't like what I did, then you damn sure don't want to play in the road. So
Well, with me, if I was taking him for a walk, it was you let go of my hand, you're getting your ass whooped. There was no playing around.
Well, yeah, no, people always jump to abuse, but it's really not like that. Most of the time with the really young ones, like, you know, it's not even a touch that would actually hurt. It hurts their pride more than physically. You know what I mean? In most cases. So, yeah. How you do it makes a difference. You know what I mean? But I'm a strong component for discipline. And that's, fortunately, we got a lot of adults that have never been disciplined, and they're worse than half the kids these days.
Yep. A lot of times it's all about the tone of voice. I mean, you get the right tone of voice, you hit your kid across the butt with a feather and they're going to start crying.
Yep. Shit, you might even miss them and they're going to act like you killed them.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
223 DMRs out there. Evening to you. Man, we've been all over the place tonight. At least Bon Curious ain't out there talking about being in spandex anymore, thank God. Small miracles do happen.
That's true.
Yeah, that's nothing we care to see around here, as far as I'm concerned. I can't speak for everybody's ladies, but, you know, me personally, no, man, I'm good.
Barbecues after you said 24 hours of coaching and only 7 hours sleep in the last 2 days. So he's dead tired and about to pass out, or else he would jump in and says thanks for the invite. Yeah, no problem, man. I know how that goes. When my son was in the high school band, we had his band trip where I chaperoned, and then the next day was the award trip for the kids that did well on the state standardized test, and I got roped into chaperoning that too without having much sleep. So yeah, I get it. I get it.
Just gotta learn to say no sometimes.
Well, if I just said no, they wouldn't have been able to take the kids on the trip because you had, by state law, you had to have so many chaperones.
Yeah, that's how I ended up being a 5th and 6th grade summer soccer coach, is because somebody signed me up. My wife signed me up as a potential assistant coach. Well, it turned out nobody else volunteered to be coach of this, so they asked me if I'd do it, and it's like, I don't know how to do it by myself. I'd be an assistant. They said, well, if you don't do it, then the kids won't get to play. And I'm like, God dang it. Now I have to.
They hit you with the guilt trip. Yep.
Well, one of my kids was going to be on the team, and of course he would have had a fit. So I had to pretend I knew how to coach soccer for a few weeks. We actually went undefeated that year, so it ended up all right.
There you go, baby. You had a knack for it. You didn't even know, you know?
Or I had some really talented boys. A couple of them were made me look good. I'm like, go out there and score. And they said, okay. You know, those kids that their parents send them to soccer camp and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Heads and tails above everybody else. Well, I had these twin boys whose parents sent them to soccer camp. And yeah, that's really all I had to do was tell them to go out there and score.
Nice.
Yeah. Ozzy's out there in the chat, so even and Ozzy. And Defense Dad has a question. He said he got his tax appointment this week. Should he A, get a new gun, B, get a new camera, or C, be responsible?
If you get the right tax person, get you a good accountant and help you write off that stuff as channel expenses.
Yeah, and then you
Don't
could
worry
do
about
D. Then you could do D and have it be both A and B.
That's right.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. If you're going to, if you're putting YouTube as a business, then it only makes sense to do write-offs on every, anything related to it. But despite that, I would say be responsible, hold off, and make sure everything actually goes the way it's supposed to before you go blow your wad. Just because once in a while things happen,
Or just get a
Mhm.
credit card. That's what Squib told me.
Yeah, but things go bad, then you already blew your
You
wad.
get
And
another credit card to
interest,
pay that
and
credit card off.
I don't know. It's a bad cycle. And I guess it's the American way, but you do have the choice not to.
Yeah. I know one thing. When my wife had to have her surgery a couple of years ago, the credit cards came in handy for helping keep the bills up.
Credit cards are fun as long as you pay them off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the rule I have anymore. If I put something on a credit card, when that bill comes, I pay it.
Yeah, I mean, she had her surgery beginning of August, so it was starting to get cool in October. So having that credit card got the gas bill paid because she was still out of work at the time.
It's cool. I mean, could have went about it, because you probably knew about the surgery with some notice. You could have saved a little bit and then just did it.
Not really, man. It
your own
was a quick thing. I mean, she had her first appointment, and 2 months later, she was going to the operating room. So there
Well,
wasn't
that's
time to
why
save
you
up.
should have some savings around. Saying like I break my leg at work.
We
or
did.
whatever.
That was the
I
problem.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I mean, it's a crutch is the way I see it. I mean, it's good. It helps you out, and I understand that's what you see it as a positive. But in the end, you did still have to turn to somebody else for help.
Just
And
take
as
her,
men,
take
we
her to
don't like
Canada,
that.
then you can get it done for free.
5 years later. Man, some of those waiting lines they have in Canada are ridiculous. They actually have charities in Canada where they try and raise money for people to come here to have surgery because of how long the waiting lines are up there.
I hear the doctors in Mexico are cheaper.
They might be. I'm sure they probably are, and a lot of them are probably sketchy. But I would say there's probably still some good people that do good work in Mexico. So I know we all, people got jokes or whatever. You say that as like a downgrade, but one of the guys I served with was from Mexico. So let me think. Yeah, I think initially, and he did a lot of stuff differently. But when the time came down to if you had to count on him, he was dependable. So I'll put it that way. So I'd let him work on me. He might have started with dogs, but I'd let him work on me.
Yeah, Barbecue says, I'm guessing he's talking about Mexico. He hears that the plates they put in you say microwave safe.
Good and bad everywhere. That's what I'm getting at.
Speaking of that kind of stuff, there was a story in the news a couple of years ago where a guy over in England was on the liver transplant roll, waiting for a transplant. Went to a wedding, had 1 cup of beer during the wedding ceremony, during the wedding reception when they were doing the toast, and they took him off the list. They wouldn't let him have the liver transplant.
The donor list or the transfer list?
The transplant list. Yeah, he was on the transplant list. They took him off because he had 1 little cup of beer when they were doing the toast at the wedding.
I believe it. But usually they got like a board that, somebody that reviews, who who gets it in an organ or whatnot. And obviously, you know, if you got lung cancer and you're looking for lungs, they're not going to help you out if you're a smoker. You know, what's the point? Somebody else would value it more. So, I mean, that's something you got to consider. I mean, one beer under a celebratory thing, that's kind of pushing it, but it doesn't seem that far fetched from my experience of things. You know, if you're not going to take it serious, why should they? You know, and especially when the other person may have, you know, projected 10 more years of life than you know, or something like that. Especially, you know, you get old, dialysis, you got issues like that, like shit, you just, you know, forget about it. You know what I mean? It's sad, but just, you know, forget about it. Yeah. Yeah, organs are a touchy thing, I guess. So sucks when you're not the same blood type as somebody you care for, you know.
Or if you're not like in contact with your family or anything like that too, that you might have somebody in your family that could be a match, but for various reasons, you know, you don't talk to them or anything.
Yeah, a lot of people are selfish anyway. There's a lot of people that you know, wouldn't, you know, even if you ask, just, you know, phobia about surgeries or whatever, or this or that. I don't know, but you know, in some cases, it's just probably the right thing to do. Yeah, depending on the person. So, but yeah, it's everybody's different. So,
just had a kitten attacking my head. I don't know what she was doing. She decided she was going to attack my head. I look back at her and she runs off.
So your wife's been putting cat treats on your hat?
I don't know. Maybe she sprinkled some catnip on it or something.
Oh man, I said cat treats, and now I got one bugging me.
My wife took her siblings to the lady that's got homes for them today, and she's been going nuts because she's rocking around meowing, looking for her buddies, and they're not here no more.
I cheat, man. Like, you used to buy cat treats all the time, like Temptation, stuff like that. But when you start looking like it, you know, what you get for your dollar versus the weight, the gross, all that, man, I'll tell you what I did. These cats eat like expensive food. Don't ask me why. It's like medical, whatever crap the lady insists on paying for. So I was giving them the Temptation sweets and stuff. We got outside cats that are just outside cats. So I get them the cheap stuff. So what I've done is got a little container and I load that with the cheap stuff. And the cats up here, like they don't know no better. Like they still think it's treats, and they love it. And it's the cheap cat food. So if you look at the bag of the treats, you're only supposed to give them so many, blah blah blah. You know, this and that. They're higher, all this stuff. So a lot of people, including my mom, will give her cat way too damn many, you know, and then the cat starts getting all fat and obese. And I think the same thing, pet owner, kid owner, you shouldn't let your pets or kids get all fat and obese because it ain't good for their health long term. So tell them no, that's part of parenting. But same thing with the cat. So you could save a lot of money by switching to some cheaper cat food, or even if you want fancy stuff, whatever, buy expensive stuff. But a bag of cat food lasts a hell of a lot longer than a bag of treats does.
Yeah,
that's
later
my point.
Night. You know? Yeah, later, Knives. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, take care, Knives. Chocolate.
My wife gets them these little squeeze things where you squeeze the liquid treat stuff out of it.
Yeah.
And the youngest, the kitten, she realized she likes the stuff. So if my wife's trying to give her any of it, she'll just bite on the container and try running off with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so snacks can add up, though. I mean, you save yourself some money by switching to a cat food. Different cat food than what you normally feed them, obviously. 'Cause, yeah, they're not stupid, but at the same time, they're not rocket scientists either. Yeah.
Oh, they get dry cat food, and we change it up every, or they're not getting the same one constantly.
What I found works sometimes if you're out of cat treats, sometimes if they have dry cat food, you could just reach up in that bag and take a couple pieces of that and throw it in the treat dish. Cat don't know the difference. Thinks he's
That's what
getting
Rob was
something.
just saying, Gary.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
basically.
Cats here on this Hills, whatever, prescription diet. It's like it actually comes from the vet. Like this
No wonder Rob can't buy a new car. He's
stuff
buying
is
that stuff.
crazy, man.
Damn, that shit's $30-$40 a bag, man.
I think it's
Uh-huh.
more. We get a discount on it, but I think it's more. I'll ask. Hold on.
Yeah, there's his car payment money, Gary. Now we know.
Because just a regular Hill Science diet is $25 a bag for the 7-pound bags. Because that's what George
Mhm.
eats.
Our cats get 9 lives and Friskies, and they like it.
I buy the Science diet, but I mean, Hills is. There's a Hills factory right up here in Topeka, and kind of a local company, and the vets recommend it pretty well. So.
Yeah, this 4-pound bag's about $60.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. We don't pay that though. Like I said, we got a discount, but it's not cheap. Yeah, that's freaking nuts, man.
Yeah, Defense Dad's right. I've never seen a cat yet that won't eat rotisserie chicken. You get one of them big old chickens at the store, there's always a piece or two of, skin or something like that. Just throw that in a treat dish. They'll eat it.
Our daughter's cat. He's weird. You can give him a piece of broccoli and he goes to town on it.
Yeah, some nights the cats eat better than I do. Damn it.
If you got a dog in the house, you don't got to worry about treats as long as you have cats. I bet you Rich knows what I mean. Dogs will just dig through the litter box, get their own treat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
So
they
the
will.
Yes,
they will.
Yes, they will. And if you got a cat that coughed up a hairball, the dog will take care of that too.
Yep, and run up and lick your face when you get home. Lovely.
Get your cat box eating face out of my face, you stupid little bastard. I saw you just in that litter box. Get out of my face.
I also have cans of tuna up in the cabinet, and you can always give a cat a piece. Now, they say you should never give a cat canned tuna. You can give them a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt them.
Our cats eat canned tuna quite often, honestly.
Yeah, ours have. I mean, even growing up as a kid, if we were out of cat food, then that was the option basically. So I'd rather see that than table food for most pets in a sense. So
Now, my ex-father-in-law had this little Chihuahua, and they never bought dog food for this dog. They always, whatever they cooked for dinner, they would make a plate and put down on the floor for the dog. Dog would eat whatever they ate every meal.
That dog was probably fat too.
No.
Chihuahuas get fat easy, so that's a shock.
Probably not best for the animal's health long term, but I got a friend that if he orders a steak, he'll order an extra one and gives it to his dog. So his dog goes everywhere with him. Like if he's not in the restaurant, the dog's outside. So but same thing. He gets an ice cream. He gets an ice cream for the dog. So, but he does. The dog has expensive food itself or whatever. But still, it's like the way he sees it, if he can spring for a steak for himself, then he can do it for his dog as well. That's, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like that I can get, but it's certain things I don't know. It's just obviously not good for pets. I mean, honestly, a lot of this modern food ain't even good for us. When you're really looking to ingredients and stuff. So
apparently, according to Barbecue, he had a conversation about why dogs eat cat poo out of the litter box. And the vet told him to the dog's taste buds, it's sweet like a candy bar. I'll take the vet's word for that, I suppose. Yeah, apparently money was spent on that. Probably taxpayer money at that.
Maybe. I know they claim animals will eat dirt, grass because they crave the minerals, even though they may not notice it. It's not like you're just craving for grass or dirt or something, but they say that's the thing.
If a dog eats grass, typically means he's constipated.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a thing too. So I don't know. Yes, I don't know. I mean, you guys have never craved a fresh bowl of dirt?
No.
Well, what if it's the crumbled chocolate cake with brownie mix and gummy worms?
That's too much chocolate.
Oh.
I can't eat a whole lot of chocolate at one time.
Oh, I love chocolate. Dark chocolate.
Oh, I like chocolate. I just can't eat a whole lot of it at one time. I'll get sick. I have to eat it in small quantities, like a candy bar and something like that. But like a really rich chocolate cake like that, I have to have small quantity of it.
The cheesecake is where I got a limiter. Like most other cakes and stuff, not a problem. But cheesecake, like a thick cheesecake, one of them real ones, not that Jello stuff, which is passable, but it's not the same. But bulletproof cheesecake, that stuff, man. Yeah, big slice of that'll put me down.
Yeah, Defense Dad said his folks will go through the Burger King drive-in just for their dog. I was watching one of Cowboy Kent Rollins videos where he was making the Big Mac casserole. I think we talked about the last time we did the show, and he had one of his dogs in the car with him, and he bought the dog its own thing of chicken nuggets. There are people that do that.
Yep. Yeah, I think as a treat or once in a while, obviously not a problem, but I would definitely look into all they eat is human food. So I see that being problems down the line or would possibly with different breeds. So that's another thing. If you're a dog owner, don't just pick a dog because it's cute. Like look into the heritage, the breeds, because the worst thing for everybody is you pick a dog that doesn't match your family's pace. If you're busy and always out and doing stuff, you don't want something at home just tearing up your house or doesn't move at all. It's like a damn rug on the floor, and vice versa. If you're a home type person, don't go get a dog that needs a run. It's kind of some common sense for they got their own personalities, but some breeds are known to have certain issues. The bigger dogs typically have heart problems, leg issues, hip issues. There's some common things across the board with different breeds. So if you're gonna actually get a pet to stick around to be a family member, obviously you want it in the best health for as long as possible. So just something to look into or keep in mind. Do you know how people are? The girl across the street got a cute puppy and somebody gets sold on it, and then the next thing you know, you got a damn dog in your house. So yeah.
Or a wedding ring on your finger.
Yeah, something. So that so same thing with cars. I always say don't go by looks. Make sure it's actually decent. Looks should be secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on your purpose. If you're just buying it to impress somebody on Friday night, as long as it makes it home by Saturday morning, then it doesn't matter. But if you're looking for something dependable, don't just buy it because it's cool looking.
Are you talking about pets or are you talking about women?
Both.
Oh.
And cars.
Guy I
You
worked
gotta
with
be
at
able to live
Greyhound.
with it, you know?
Guy I worked with at Greyhound met his wife because she was giving out free kittens on the sidewalk outside her apartment or her house or whatever. And he was walking by and he got to talking to her while she was giving out the kittens. Next thing you know, a couple months later, they were engaged.
I believe it.
See, them cats weren't free after all.
Yeah, you thought so. See, I recovered a dog that was running around the neighborhood a couple years back or whatever, and ended up driving around, you know, and checking the neighborhood, seeing if anybody's missing a dog, this and that. Same time, this lady was running around the neighborhood asking people about a dog. So ended up bumping into her, you know, dog was all hopping up in my lap in the seat, the big dog too, in my truck. And like you could tell, you know, they knew each other, you know, the dog recognized all this stuff. So next thing you know, lady's inviting me over to her house trying to cook me dinner and shit. I'm like, yeah, I don't think my lady's gonna like that, you know. Like, so, you know, you go rescuing pets. Don't be surprised if there's a date involved. You know, people really appreciate that type of stuff.
Yep.
Make sure you lock the door and set the alarm.
I know.
Yeah, Rich, don't leave the door unlocked.
Yeah, make sure you unlock the door, Rich.
Yeah, unlock the
That's
door.
the alarm.
No, barbecue. It wasn't. Though there are certain neighborhoods that it might be.
See, just the opposite happened to Rich. He ended up getting a wife and then ended up with free kittens.
God, how was I to know she would start rescuing the damn things?
I'll bet you there was a sign somewhere. Probably if you'd talked to her mom or something, could have found out that
No,
some school friend maybe. Deep dark secret somebody knows. Could have hired a detective.
Man, women got a way of having you put up with things sometimes that you normally wouldn't on your own, I guess. So, yeah, but you can't be afraid to, put your foot down at some point, Rich. Shit, I had to do it here with these outside cats, man. Like, man, it's getting crazy. Like,
we're getting
do
rid
like
of
a
some of
20-pound bag of food like every 3-4 days. Like you think I'm rich? Like, what's going on here? This is nuts, man. Like, nuts. Us guys, we do some weird things. Shit, I wouldn't even date a girl that had a litter box. Like, I went over to your house after hanging out or whatever. You seen you had a litter box. We could hang out, but I wasn't dating your ass. It's just what it, because it always stinks, man. It always stinks. I don't care if you change it daily. You're still gonna come in there at some point, and it's gonna stink. You can get the automatic ones. It still smells. And you think like cat litter is expensive or cat food is expensive. Some of this fancy litter is even worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Some of those litters are expensive as hell.
Sign up to go pick up shit every day of my life. You know what I mean? To this day, I still don't touch the damn litter box. But there is one in my house, and that's because of a female.
Oh, I don't touch. I don't touch the damn litter box either. Like,
shit.
But we were at Tractor Supply the other day, and they got this new kitty litter in over there. It's made out of wood and sand compacted together, and it's supposed to smell like cedar or some shit. That shit was $100 a fucking bag.
Oh, it don't surprise me. And you got the other stuff that's like the crystals that changes colors depending on, your cat health. Like, oh my God, man. Like, I don't know. Yeah. People have gotten crazy.
Finstead said he wouldn't date a girl that litter box either. Damn furries are weird.
Yeah, nowadays I guess that could have a different context. Yeah.
It's like the congressman who got caught dressing up like a dog on the weekends. Tell me you guys saw that video.
Nah, I didn't see that. But don't surprise me, man. Most of these guys are weird. Like all these politicians and stuff, they're all strange. They eat burgers with knives and forks, and they're not normal people, man. Most of them, it seems like they've been bred their whole life to, be different. I don't know. It's great. I guarantee you, like, I'd be willing to bet like 90% of Congress couldn't change a damn tire if they had to. Yeah. Forget about changing oil or something basic. They're not those types of people, in general.
Yeah, 223 out there saying shitty conversation. No, that was a couple weeks ago. This is mild.
Now, the night we talked about the traffic cones, that was a pretty shitty conversation.
Oh, let's not even go there. Oh no. And that somehow that video is still up on the channel, by the way.
These guys don't have any idea what a rabbit hole is.
No.
Come on, man.
We went down one hell of a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 6-7 hour long damn show too.
I'm just shocked that was ever like a thing. Traffic cone and girls. I mean, I don't know, man. Like you see a kid get born once, and that almost ruins it. You know what I mean? Like pulling on the cord, the placenta popping out, and stuff, man.
Rob, the traffic cone wasn't going in that hole.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's worse than what you think.
I don't even want that chick on my block, bro.
Right? And sushi barbecue.
Man, something might fall out and you catch something. I don't know. Oh.
Yeah, that was Vanessa Kitty's experience, I guess, because she's the one who was telling us about that in the chat, and of course we had to discuss it on the panel because it was late at night, and some of the panelists may or may not have been inebriated by that point.
So irresponsible to come online while you're drunk. I'd never do something like that.
Oh, good Lord. Barbecue. He's going to text Gunpowder to link. Oh, I forget what it was that we were talking about. And we were doing a bunch of innuendo before we got to the traffic cone part. And
something about eating sushi.
Well, she was eating sushi off a naked lady is what started the whole conversation.
Naked guy, wasn't it? Or was it a lady?
No, she was at one of those Chinese things, and there was sushi on a naked lady, and she was eating some of that sushi off the naked lady. That's what brought up the whole conversation to begin with.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, except maybe the sushi part. Like you put some fruit, some cherries, some strawberries, something like that. That now we're talking.
From that point, we start to go down the rabbit hole of taboo restaurants over in Japan, and we're talking in innuendo because didn't want to come right out and say what they were doing, and Gunpowder was going right over her head the whole time. Finally, the other Rob, aka Black X, just yells out, "They're screwing the food!" Gunpowder's face got beat red.
Uh-oh, look who's out there now.
You remember that part, right, Gary? Oh, yeah. Red Gunpowder's face got. Yeah, that was. Oh dear, Rob's in trouble now.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Your lady's out there, man.
Oh shit! Don't tell her I'm here.
Please
definitely don't say anything about her being a bitch when she got home from the hospital.
You just did.
Damn, dude.
Okay, Thorzax. You do you, man. No, you're way too late. She said, sounds like she got your rating time. No, you're way too late.
You just talking crap, babe. No,
Oh,
don't
good Lord.
worry about
Barbecue, what are you doing? He said he texted Gunpowder the link and told her we were talking about 1911s and wanted a woman's thoughts on them. Oh, dear. It's been a while since she's been on the show.
Yeah, things have switched up around YouTube the last year or so. We've got a lot of shows that are no more. You know,
Mhm.
people come and go, and there's a lot of things have changed. Gunpowder's
Yeah.
out there. I've seen her out around, but definitely don't
Yeah.
bump into her like we used to. Granted, you know, people got different things going on in their life, so you know, hopefully it's a good thing and busy doing good stuff and not you know busy in misery. So
Yeah, Barbecue may have a point. He says she will so throat punch me. Yeah, Barbecue, you might want to get a throat protector like what a goaltender wears. The rest of the mask might not help either, might not hurt either. Yeah, if she can't get your throat, she might go for the nose. He says, in my defense, if she believes y'all want a woman's opinion, she is more gullible than any of us thought.
I
Now,
just keep my distance because throat guards are annoying. Like, yeah, they're just annoying if you ever get forced to wear one. Rubs on you all the time. You know, it's always uncomfortable. Doesn't flex. It's not. You know, it's probably the worst part of a battle rattle system, in my opinion, is damn throat guards. But
well, the goaltender one, it hangs loose, so it just swings back and forth. It doesn't actually contact your neck. If it does, something's wrong.
okay, yeah.
And Barbecue said he has his mask and throat protector from when he umpires baseball. Yeah, that'll work too.
All you got to do is have a pocket full of 45s, and then if she starts screwing with you, take a couple step back, and then start tossing a couple rounds to the left, to the right,
Yeah.
and that'll
Yeah.
give
Oh,
you.
yeah. For gunpowder, that's candy.
Got it. Yeah, or 44 mag. 44 mag, she's gonna drop a kid to go grab that. So
She
don't
might
worry
even
about
go after the 357 Magnum too. She's talked about 357 before too.
it. Just gotta learn how to distract them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the best place to argue with an overweight person is on a set of stairs, because you can always outrun them.
Unless you're in between them and the kitchen, then look out.
Yeah, the kitchen. Deadliest place in the house.
Defense dad asks, how the fuck this barbecue umpire baseball? Does he hear a lot of, hey up, are you fucking blind? Well, we always said that our umpires were blind. Well, now we know.
You know, that's actually a really good point. Is that even legitimate barbecue? I mean, we know you're not like 100% blind, but still, you know, you're trying to see things across a field. Do you have an interpreter, somebody that's helping you stay in the loop? How are you doing that?
I guess he's doing that the same way dude played pinball in Tommy. He just senses somebody sliding
Plays
across
by
home plate.
sense of smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I wonder if somebody's getting paid to help him out there. So,
He says he hasn't
interpreters
umpired
are.
since he said
What's
he
that?
hasn't umpired since he went blind.
Okay. And say as far as like what can be perceived as an easy job, but involves a lot of travel in some cases, is being an interpreter. So whether it's sign language or whatever in a sense, blind, whatnot, being somebody. There's people that actually get paid to go to college with people uh, to basically translate in a sense. So in some situations, depending what you're into, you like learning stuff. I mean, you could get paid to go learn stuff. Like technically, you don't get the credits, but I'm sure you could probably sign up and get them anyway. But there's a lot of opportunities out there if you're good with language or different things like that, which could be perceived as an easy job. I mean, if you have the skills either way. Plus, that could open you up to other things with government as well. So there's a lot of possibilities. The more languages you speak, interpretation. There's good positions out there. I think that's a job that's overlooked by a lot of people. But I've personally known somebody that's done very well, being somebody's legal sidekick. Not legal, but everything they do, they get called upon, whether it's government paperwork, whether it's college, whether it's whatever. They're on call go-to person, and the state paid for them to do that, and they've made out quite well. So just little side thing out there is jobs people don't think about.
Yeah. Let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, you may have stepped in it. Your lady's actor asking, how do you distract her?
I don't know if he can talk about that in this show.
How do I distract her? What is this in reference to? I guess I could go ask her.
When you were talking about distracting women by throwing, in Gunpowder's case, the bullets and stuff.
Well, yeah, I probably shouldn't talk about that. She's got some weak spots. Fresh pairs of socks are one way that I can talk about.
Okay.
She loves a fresh pair of socks. So, we hit the lotto. She wants fresh pair of socks till the day she dies, which I honestly think is wasteful. Because, when I get new socks, I wash anything I buy. I'm washing it first anyway. 50 hands have been on that, in different factories rolling around and stuff. But, you're washing it anyway, so I guess they're not really new. They are, but they're not. And then once you wear them, I mean, they're still like brand new. You could wear them for a while, like brand new. I mean, obviously not consecutively, but you're washing them, whatever. But to her, it's got to be new. Like that's her spot. New pair of socks every day, she'd be happy.
And Thorzak says morphed into Weird Al Yankovic, everybody. And Barbecue says he'll start his own interpreter business and call it The Blind Leading the Blind. Don't we already have that and it's called Congress?
That's a good point there. There's money out there though. There's careers in that type of stuff. So and it can also open a lot of doors people don't think of or can't really speak of. So it's definitely something to consider.
You can get paid money for doing almost anything anymore.
Yeah. Wasn't it the fence dad was telling us, like a year and a half ago, that the Arby's in his area had a sign out saying starting pay was like $20 an hour at Arby's?
Look how rich the Kardashians are, and they don't know how to do jack squat.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah, was that Celebi Tights? You're famous for, I don't
Pretty
know,
much it.
calling somebody famous or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Oh, gunpowder. Gunpowder may be coming for you, Rob. Barbecue said Gunpowder just seen his message, so he sent her another one. Said you should jump in. This is getting crazy. He said, New York Outcast just said he doesn't believe women should be shooting a caliber like 45 ACP. He's trying to get you your ass. He's trying to get her to kick your ass, man.
Barbecue being a shit starter.
Uh-huh.
She should know better than that. But, you know, hey, she's welcome.
I thought Barbecue was going to bed. Instead, he decides he's going to get Rob in trouble.
That might be worth staying up for. Just saying. Especially if Gunpowder's involved.
He's probably like, Rob said, what?
Yep. Barbecue is that kid on the playground, always getting everybody beat up. I see how it is.
Mm-hmm. He's a shit starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Kardashians are so bad they turned Bruce Jenner into a woman.
I hear he's like turned back now and regrets the whole thing. I guess there's a big movement like that with all these people that are reversing the reverse surgery or whatever. I don't know, but
yeah, as long as they haven't gone full hog and.
Well, nowadays you don't have to have the surgery. All you got to do is say, "Okay, I'm this now," and you know, that's it. That's all you have to do.
Remember, there's gender fluid, which means one day you might be one thing and the next day something else altogether.
I don't know, man. It sounds like a mental problem to me. I mean,
it is a mental problem.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I guess that's a big thing now, but it's just not being pushed, and apparently people are that were all supported, or now, you know, everybody, I think Jenner's one of them where everybody hates him, or when he was all for it publicly, he was in the spotlight everywhere. Now that he's against it, he's been banned.
Well, even when he was still transitioned, if he has untransitioned, he was still coming out there and saying that parents should not be forcing this shit on their kids.
But I totally agree with that. I think that's child abuse, like, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He shouldn't, yeah. I don't know. The parent shouldn't just be like, we're going to cut this off, or, you know, stitch this on, or whatever. You know, I mean, I don't, yeah. What happened to being thankful to have a healthy kid to begin with? Now you're going to, you know, potato head the kid. I mean, I don't, yeah. They want to do that, let them do it at their legal age. You know what I mean?
That's Rob, she's out there.
That's
Hey, Bob. Hey, Jesse. But, defense dad isn't it gender fluid, which you donate at the sperm bank? I guess that's one way you could call that.
Just for the record, Barbecue was trying to start crap. I got no problems with girls shooting 45 ACP, 12 gauge, 44 mag, 50 cal. Don't matter to me, as long as you're not shooting it at me or asking me to pay for it.
But Barbecue being a shit stirrer. So, that's what's going on, Jesse. Barbecue being a shit stirrer. You know, the usual. Oh, she knows what's up. She said Rob is in support of throw punches, especially when they are directed at Barbecue. It may have backfired on you, Barbecue.
I support throat punches at barbecue. I support eating sushi off undressed women, although I prefer fruit. But yeah, no restrictions on ladies with firearms.
Barbecue says, "You pansies." Once you have a point there, brother. He says he'll never see it coming. Barbecue. Gunpowder says, "I believe those that stirred a shit pot should be forced to lick the spoon. Karma has a way of making that happen."
Yeah, karma's a thing. I believe in it. And what about you guys? You guys believe in, karma or mojo, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, whatever goes around comes around, that kind of thing.
Kind of. Yeah. And it might not be swift, immediate, or anything, but things kind of have a way of working out. So I try to express, like, my kids and things like that. Like, you shouldn't be picking on people as you're driving down the street, because you could unfortunately find yourself in the same situation as some of these people in the future. We really never know. So a few bad decisions can change everything. An accident can change everything. So, yeah, it's not good to wish bad on others. You know what I mean? It's not, in a sense, although sometimes we're probably all guilty of that. But yeah, things got a way of coming back at you. They really do. I've seen it happen a dozen times.
Yeah, barbecue, you may not, I don't know, man. Have you transitioned into a dog? If not, that may not work for you. He said, "They like that spoon will taste like a candy bar."
Heard some school put out a memo, or some town or whatever had a meeting or whatever. They passed something. Basically, if your kid shows up to school as a furry, they're going to call animal control to remove them. And I think that's the funniest crap, man. I hope they throw him back in a cage and every damn thing, with a little bowl of water and shit. And like, well, you didn't let them call. Well, the animals don't call home. Like,
there was a school board somewhere in this state. Man. They all got impeached for trying to pass a law saying that kids could go to school dressed as furries.
It might be the same place. I don't know. This was like last week. It was in the news. So I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, right
my wife was telling me about
how you handle it. You go lock them in the back of a truck, go throw them in a pen. And, later in the day, your parents will get informed. And by the time they get out of work and show up and you're sitting in there in a dog pen, maybe they'll feel a little differently, Yeah,
Barbecue says the one you're talking about, Rob, was in Oklahoma.
Okay. I support that movement, really do. They've got a school system close to here that they got a bunch of furries, and they're talking about, they tried to put a bill for litter boxes in the bathroom. That didn't pass, thankfully, but a friend of ours kids go to this school, so, and they're about to be thrown out, basically, because they're just not going with the program. So
yeah, I want to know how that school board thought that shit was going to fly in this state of West Virginia. It's like, no, we ain't doing that here.
Who's going to clean out those litter boxes? What I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the right way of going about it. Is if you want to identify, then you need to be treated as such. Or if you want to be treated as such, we could treat you as such. But treating you as a pet reduces your rights. So I hope you understand that. Pets go by different rules. A lot of states, pets are property. Like, you get loud, look dangerous, we could legally put your ass down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So, you know what I mean? If you want to get like that, a lot of people come in, their pets, they're in a little pain. They can't get around too good, and they want a new fresh pet. So they just go get it euthanized. So keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Gunpowder out there said that she forgot to silence her notifications on her phone, and woke her up. So she wants to know what kind of shenanigans are happening in here other than barbecue trying to give me an assault charge. So Ozzy tells her that we were talking about some of the old rabbit holes, and she says, "Oh Lordy, those rabbit holes were epic back in the day." Yeah, and you missed a good one a couple weeks ago too when we were talking about the poo-powered cars again. See, what you're thinking is wrong on here, barbecue, is that we were in on it with you about the whole telling gunpowder that these rounds and stuff shouldn't be used by women and stuff. That was all you. We were waiting for her to show up so that we could tell her what you were doing. In other words, we were waiting for you to get in trouble.
Yeah, Gunpowder's not stupid. She knows she can go back and listen and look to what was actually said. Yeah, and we're not stupid, so don't think we're stopping on that landmine.
Gunpowder brings up a good point. So if a kid who identifies as a furry bites another kid, does the furry get euthanized?
Well, I don't. Could have rabies, distemper. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm betting animals get a lot of shots humans don't. So that might be something too. Because I mean, if you're going to be in school, you got to have all your shots, right?
I don't think I've ever had a rabies shot
Nope, never had a rabies shot.
or distemper.
Nope. Now, if your kid is a furry, do they have to have their rabies shots and distemperment shots before they go to school?
I don't know.
And do you have to get a dog license for them?
It only seem responsible.
You would think, right?
Yeah, you can even get one of them little GPS trackers thrown in their arm at the pet store.
Yeah. Well, they want to do that to everybody anyway.
But you know, it doesn't matter that it's the big needle. Yeah, I mean, this guy makes minimum wage doing it. Don't worry about that.
Now, you want to be a dog so bad? You gotta get your rabies shot. I give up. I quit.
Ooh, what about neutered?
Oh yeah,
spayed. Yeah.
That might be a good. That might be a good thing though.
6
really
months old,
like that.
6 months old, man. The balls go bye. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, honestly, let's think about that. Do we really want those people multiplying anyway?
And where's the limit with the bark collars? I'm not really a fan, but you know.
Ooh, electric shock collar on your kid would be legal.
The invisible fence.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this could get horrible. Like, yeah, somebody should do a skit about this and show it to these kids because it could get pretty ugly.
Mm-hmm. Woods said he's been bit by several kids and had to get shots. Does that go with the territory of being a teacher?
I believe that. Probably teachers do get bit and crap like that. Just, parents don't just tell their kid, no, don't do that. And then they just run around doing it again and stuff. So I know the little kids with the biting, like, this sounds cruel, but you bite their ass back, they understand.
He teaches kids with behavior disorders. That would explain it. I don't know about biting, but when I was in 6th grade, I think it was, this one big black kid, 8th grader, got in an argument with the one Spanish teacher and picked up one of those folding tables and hit her with it. He went to jail.
Good. Yeah, I couldn't be a teacher. I'd end up in jail probably in first day. Charges, God knows, it'd probably be like a dozen charges
Mhm.
or something. So
Yeah, it's
now
like I've
talk
had
to it
people
wrong, and it's a problem. So
I've had people tell me I should finish my master's and get a teaching job. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'd last a month. I'd call somebody's kid a dumbass, and the next thing you know, I'm on the unemployment line."
well, I went in and chew out a teacher one time. Trying to guilt trip my kid about taking the state test. That wasn't a requirement. It was one of these Common Core things. It's a whole thing. But basically, teacher was sitting there like, well, if the scores don't come out right, then my evaluation's bad, and I can't do what I need to do for my kids at home, and blah blah blah. It started going on, and I like bring her personal life all into it and crap. And so I ended up going down to the school and talking to them, and they ended up asking me if I'd be interested in working there. I was like, oh hell no, like yeah. Like no, 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 no. Like, like nah, yeah, because I just it's a big problem in this society. Is a lot of kids don't have any discipline. That's a problem. Yeah, I don't want to bring up like single parent homes or any of this crap, whatever you want to call it, but discipline is lacking, and yeah, I just couldn't do that. It's the same thing with kids coming over here, friends' kids. Like, we've had conversations with parents. Like, you got badass kids, you send them here, that they're probably gonna have a problem. It's just something to keep in mind. But you can't just let certain things go.
Mhm.
But everybody's so hands off with everything these days. It's I do not envy teachers at all. A good friend of mine's actual wife, she is always out, or she works with disabled children or whatnot. They're might be the same as Woods or something, where these are like the higher risk kids. And like every year she gets her ass beat like 2-3 times a year, busted leg, busted ankle, all beat up face. Like, I don't know what, she should have been a damn fighter, like, because really like she spends more time out of work than in work, because the kids she's dealing with, some of them are twice her damn size, like, and she
Mhm.
just gets her ass beat regularly. Like, it's there's no way, like, no way. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean, that there's like a human has a right to self-defense. I don't care how old you are. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Yep. And Thor's axe out there says we are taught fighting dirty is wrong, but we're also told fighting is wrong. If you have to fight, fight dirty. You're already in the party, right? Yeah, as far as I see it, there's on the street, there's no such thing as fighting fair.
Uh,
You're
I
you're
wouldn't say
just
fighting's
fighting.
wrong. It just depends. I think you should
Mhm.
avoid fights. You should try to get, be able to do things without it leading to violence. Because even if you physically win, it doesn't make you correct in a manner. It's like the person who can yell the loudest thinks they're right. It's not truly the case. But I think people should know, be encouraged to fight for what's right. You should fight for your brother getting beat down at the park. You should, your little sister, this or that, win or lose, you should still try. Somebody assaults your wife out in public, you should try. I don't care if you're in a damn wheelchair. You don't just let them do it. There, I don't know. People should fight, but it should be justified when doing so.
Mhm.
Hopefully others don't push you to that point, but if they do, you know, that's between you, God, and yours. I mean, it might not come out legal, but that's your job as an individual. I think, especially when you're speaking of your kids, your family. You know, don't start it, but it's better damn sure be able to finish it if need be, as they say. So.
If you're fighting on the street, don't expect the Marquis of Queensberry rules to apply.
Yeah, there is no rules. Biting, punching, kicking in the balls, whatever, eye sockets, it's survival. There is no rules on the street. So, items beside you, it's And it doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile, winning's winning. Same thing with racing. So those are, in a sense, could be the most dangerous types. So it's best to avoid it because it's always a cost, whether it's you're roughed up a little, problems with family or school or wherever, work, whatever situation it is, problems with the law, there's always a cost to it. So if you can avoid it. But in certain cases, people leave you no choice, and that's where it's helpful if people do know how to fight. You don't just while out, as they say, going all nuts and get burned out and then find out you're standing in front of somebody that's done this a few times, because you're going to have a problem.
Yeah. Going back to Woods and his occupation, he said he wants a new special ed category. Under federal law, there are 17 categories. His new category would be RBP, really bad parenting. I think most of the cases would fall into that category. Make things more streamlined, tell you that.
Yeah, some people just shouldn't have kids, man.
Gunpowder says she's in the mindset that she can walk away from words, but as soon as you put your hands on her, her give a damn is busted and she's going to unleash years of pent-up anger. Yep.
Yeah, I can get that in most situations. Totally get that. But yeah, it's men, I think, a man in most cases should be able to take a hit, and then be justified, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, pick your battles basically and be justified. So I can think of a few situations. I won't get into details, but pretty bad. One person had a broken back in the end of it and stuff, and I came out clean because I waited. I was attacked, and then I reacted. So you know what I mean. It's how it happens makes a big difference sometimes. But everybody gets your ego up, and I don't know. Don't let your ego put your ass in jail. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. It goes back to the old saying, you'll never talk yourself out of an arrest, but sure as hell talk yourself into one.
Yep. Make sure it's justified. Same thing with using your firearm. You may not want to stop every criminal or something. I mean, you're not technically, we're not vigilantes. It's not the purpose in a sense. But this day and age, you pull your gun, you better be willing to sit in jail while it gets worked out. So for stupid things that really don't involve life or you or whatever, things that are insured in some cases that aren't you're probably better just letting some things, staying out of stuff, make a good witness. But when it comes down to life, that's another story. Maybe at that point it's worth it to you.
Gunpowder also said, now if someone puts their hands on her child, she hopes they're right with Jesus because they're about to meet him. Yeah, I can fully understand that sentiment too.
Yeah, that one I'm crossed on. I get it, depending how it happens. But let's say it's my neighbor, snatches my kid up because they were doing something stupid. If we're on the same level, I can support that. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't think that's
something
what she's
bad,
talking
and
about.
yeah. But if you're just talking in general, yeah, I'm sure. But don't mess with people's kids for sure. But as far as like discipline or people freak out if somebody gets snapped at, verbally, even at somebody else's house. Like, how dare they speak to my kid like that? Well, your kid was running around here being a little asshole. If you spoke to him properly or addressed it at home, they'd know better than to do that over here to my mother or whatever the hell the case is. So, don't be mad. People should kind of look after each other with the general line of respect in that sense. Or else, you get the 12-year-olds running around sticking guns in grandma's face and, pushing her over, taking her purse, stealing her Kia.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
But to your comment out there in the chat, Gary, yep, that's the way it was when I was in school. You got in trouble at school, you got in trouble when you got home too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I may have got paddled a time or two at school.
Yeah, I may have. When we were going to the Christian school, they had a paddle policy, and I may have met with the Board of Education once or twice, or 3 or 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, they had that Board of Education hanging by a nail on the wall there where you could see it when you came into the
Yep.
principal's office.
Yep, the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Ours was cut. The one they had was cut from a bed slat, the old wood bed slats.
Yep.
Thankfully, I never had a problem in school. So I had altercations, but even in those altercations, there was a lead up, and nobody was mad at me.
They
So.
didn't hurt kids. They just paddled their butts. I got paddled a few times, but nobody beat me with it. I mean, just, bend over. You're going to get hit on the butt with this paddle, and that's what happened.
Your butt was a little warm for a little while.
Yeah, but wasn't any kind of permanent injury or anything. You were far more worried about what was going to happen once you got home.
Yep.
Yeah, because there was actual consequence things, unlike today, where the teachers will call parents in, and the parents come in acting worse than the damn kids do. You know what I mean? It's like, but what is a teacher to do in that situation? Yeah.
Snob says he would take.
That's when you should be able to beat both their ass.
Snob says he would take swats from the principal anytime. He got swats from a football coach once. Once was all it took. See, now, there's where I got you, Snob, because our principal was the head football coach at the Christian school I went to. So, yeah.
I was lucky the chick who paddled me couldn't really hit very hard, so we made believe it hurt a lot worse than it did. Then we'd laugh about it afterwards.
That reminds me of something I do to my kids when they're annoying me sometimes. I tell them to spank themselves and make it look like it hurts, and it always turned out everybody was dying laughing, except for my one daughter. She always took it so hard, like it was such a thing, but oh my gosh, like you should try that sometime. So yeah, with the kid, spank yourself, make it look like it hurts. Like you can't help but feel stupid and laugh about it. It's hilarious. I don't know. I guess you probably don't know until you've tried it, but it's funny. It's definitely funny. It's like getting smoked and somebody's telling jokes and they tell you, you laugh, you drop too. You can't not end up getting smoked. You know what I mean? Like it's contagious. You know what I mean? I don't know.
What comedian was it had the joke where his grandma told him to go get a switch one time and he came back with a twig? I can't remember who it was.
I don't know, but I can tell you, like, the smaller it is the more of a whip it is. You better come back with like a 2-inch dead branch. Thankfully, never had that experience, but I know others that have.
Yeah, can't say I have either.
We had a weeping willow tree right across the alley from where we lived. That would have hurt.
You know what else hurts? A braided leather belt, because that's what my stepfather used.
So I avoided all that just because, I had general respect and I knew what buttons not to push. Not claiming to be an angel, but a lot of that stuff, it was never a thing for me. So I was lucky enough to avoid getting caught in some cases.
The fence dad said he would have preferred they got paddled by a teacher than grandma's wooden spoon after school as a kid. Can't say I ever had that happen. Yeah. Misfits is asking if it was Bernie Mac. I don't think it was Bernie Mac. Might have been, but I don't think it
Bill
was.
Cosby, wasn't it?
Was it Cosby? Yeah, maybe it was.
Yeah, the good old days. Respect, values, honor. You know. How I miss them. Makes me feel old.
Wood said in his house the rule of thumb had meaning. Bring it back a switch as wide as his dad's thumb.
Mama just used a fly swatter on me. They wasn't them plastic fly swatters like you got now.
Mm-mm.
They just wire.
Mhm.
Kind of like a wire you'd use on a wire hanger.
Yeah, my mother had one of them. I got smacked with that once. God damn, that hurt.
Mhm.
Yeah, nowadays that's definitely probably referred to as abuse. Yeah, obviously we're chit chatting it up, but you know, if you're actually listening to us and considering some of this, look at your local laws. Your kids will have you believe you can't touch them, but that's not the truth. It's how and whether
My
it's your
parents never
form of
actually
discipline,
hurt me. They might have hurt
scared
my
the crap
feelings and
out of you.
caused
Yeah,
me to
yeah, I
second.
know, I
But as
know. But
far as
nowadays,
hurting me, no.
yeah, nowadays, if a kid repeated that, the fly swatter in school or a spatula, expect
Mhm.
CPS to be showing up before your kids do. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is nowadays. It doesn't even have to be true. It could have been a joke. It's just the way it goes these days. So I would definitely recommend check your local laws and do discipline your kids, please, because we got enough adult shit bags as it is. We don't need juniors on their way up to be more problems for society. But it's how it's done. At least in New York State, I can state, open hand. You're not hitting anybody in the face or beating them in the chest or any of this crazy stuff. It's but you can legally discipline your kids. You can spank them. But obviously, if it's something where every time they get in trouble, you're spanking them, then that classifies over as to abuse as well. So you got to be careful. At least in my state. So a lot of times, shit, I'd make kids run around the house. They could do push-ups. It depends on the level of trouble. Some things were minor, where I'd give you the option if you want to get out, give me 100 push-ups. Or go give me so many laps or this or that or whatever. And they kind of hated it, but they're all in pretty good shape, and it built habits that now they're all fit people, if that makes any sense. So it's another benefit. So,
Nowadays,
Ozzy,
if you send a kid to their room, they got more stuff in their room than you got in your living room.
yeah, if you
And
allow it, but you
yeah,
can
Ozzy
do
brought.
all that too, But yeah, the
in my
average
day,
parent.
if you got sent to your room, there was nothing in there. I mean, you just sat in an empty room.
Yeah, Ozzy brought up a nasty one. The orange Hot Wheels track piece. Yeah, those things hurt. You ever get hit with one of them, like from like a crisscross crash set or the Hot Wheels drag racing set? Man, those things were wicked to get hit with.
Yeah, nah, I grew up with a single dad, so there wasn't no need for spatulas or toys or anything. So the fear of God was usually
No,
enough.
my brother and I would hit each other with those damn things. We get mad. We pick up one of those Hot Wheel track pieces and we whip.
Yeah, no, that's like
No,
fighting.
those
My
things
friend
hurt.
hits me with one of those, you're getting hit in the face, probably. So
Those things are really nasty. Snob brings up plastic hangers. Can't say I've ever been hit with a plastic hanger either.
Mommy Dearest.
Well, that was a
Isn't
wire
that-
hanger.
Isn't
That
that
would
that
probably be
movie or
worse.
something? Okay, yeah. That's a little. That's out there. That's a problem. That lady there, that movie, from my recollection. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had that done a time or two. The wash the mouth out with soap. She says she can't. But Gunpowder says she can't do that either.
I never got the soap. I got hot sauce, and funny thing, I ended up liking it. You know, like yeah, then I'd use it all the time. So that didn't really work. But again, yeah, it was, to me, it was more a respect thing, just not to upset my dad. But
one time I forget what it was. I said I had a dab of hot horseradish put on my tongue, and I just stand there. I wasn't allowed to swallow. I just let it sit there on my tongue. Oh, that burned. That burned. Ooh, Thorzak said at the end of a two-piece fishing rod. Yeah. Got whacked with the ugly stick once. That was not a good feeling. Those things are flexible and they will whip. We're going to get shut down for child abuse. You guys realize this, right?
not me, man. I think it's you. I'm telling you, look at the local laws. Items are
laws
probably
shit
going to
when we
lead
were
you to
kids.
jail these days. So, you know, what was and what is are different now. But
my brother had an ugly stick ultralight, and he got pissed off at me the one time, and he just whacked me with the ugly stick. The ugly stick fishing rod, Moo. You know, the ones that are supposed to be unbreakable. Man, that son of a bitch hurt.
yeah, see, I would have, it would have been on. I would have jacked him up, man. That's what I'm saying. Same thing with like the race car track. Like, friends do dumb stuff sometimes, but if you just all out whack somebody with something, I don't care if you're my friend or not. Like that's a problem. You know, it's kind of like just a reaction. You're not even really thinking at that point. It's like stepping on a cat or a dog. It's just gonna bite your ass. You know.
Uh-huh. But yeah, gotta say hi to Moo out there. You know, the guy that gets links and then doesn't show up to the party until almost the end. And, you know, just like Pat in the bunker, man. Guy asks for links and then he never shows up. And he never comes through with making the gun he's supposed to be making either.
Right. Yeah, it's
Or
been
the
years.
AC
now,
130.
man. Years.
Yeah. What about the AC 130? I'm still waiting on that.
Home Defender 24,000 was supposed to be up next. Yeah. With all the riots and stuff going on, it would have been selling by now. I mean, I don't, yeah. You're slowing us down, Pat. Come on. Get on the ball.
Wood said the 12-inch rulers with the metal edge on them. How about a metal yardstick? A teacher whacked me with a metal yardstick. That wasn't fun either.
I think one of the worst I seen was a bare hand. This girl must have been, I don't know, probably like 4'8", short, small, Puerto Rican. She lit her son up so bad, I felt bad for him. Like I honestly did afterwards. She done beat the hell out that boy. It was something. I was over at their house, and some crap went down. He got in trouble, and embarrassed the family per se. And oh my God, like I tell you, man, you get one of them little Puerto Rican chicks on your ass. You don't need no spatula or nothing.
I probably deserved to get in it with that yardstick, because teacher told me something about something I had done, and I told her, kiss my ass, and turned around and walked away from her. Next thing I know, I'm getting hit right across the back with a goddamn metal yardstick. Like, she's like, don't you ever talk to me like that again. I was like, yes, ma'am. I think I was 5th grade.
And you learned quick, didn't you?
Through the tears, yeah, because God damn, that hurt. Oh, I didn't see. She must have wound up and used that damn thing like a katana on my back, man. That fucking hurt.
So you guys get out and do any shooting lately? Any fun?
Nah, I haven't had any money to.
I shot some when I was in Vegas.
Yeah, shooting, testing out the new guns up there.
A few of them, yeah.
That's cool. Were it lines long, or how was that? Did it move right along?
Not
or?
really that bad. Some were, but wasn't too bad. The weather was kind of crappy, but not that bad in the morning. Now it started raining after lunch. But
did you notice anything new tanking, like having problems every other round, anything like that?
Not really. I heard some stories, but not at any of the booths I was at anyway.
Curious. It always amazes me, like when people come up with new stuff and don't test it. I want to throw it out. So,
well, like that or things break. Things break down at the worst possible time. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Hillbilly says his 1st grade teacher gave you a knife to go outside and cut the switch and bring it back to get a butt whooping with.
Wow. My dad told me that they used to whack you with like a pointer stick.
Oh yeah.
Like hit your knuckles, something like that on the desk in school back in his day. So
yeah, we had a teacher that would do that. If you put your elbow on the desk and were like holding your head up, and she saw you, she'd whack you in the arm with that damn pointer stick.
Yeah, that seems like it probably left some bruises. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, or cracking on your knuckles on a desktop. That probably sucked. Yeah, I'm sure it was something you didn't look forward to. Tried to avoid. Personally, think that's a little extreme, but when you see some of these videos or these teenage kids getting up in teachers' faces and swinging on them, in my opinion, those teachers should be able to knock them right the hell out. Like I don't give a shit. As soon as you step to an adult disrespectful like that, expect to get treated like one. That's the way I look at it in that sense. I don't care what the problem is. You shouldn't be bowing up on your female teacher or a male, you know what I mean? Anything like that is, something's already wrong at that point. But I just feel bad for these teachers. Like I said, I'd lose my job quick, man.
Woods says, preach, Rich, preach. I was doing that earlier, Woods. The defense dad said worst punishments he got was the silent treatment from his mother when he did something really bad. He said he couldn't stand it. Thorsak says some teachers have been around kids too long and they are a little cuckoo.
Yeah, yeah. I think it affects people's parenting as well, if you're a teacher in some sense. So hopefully Woods don't get mad or anything at me or whatever. And I'm sure, maybe he agrees or sees it himself, but it seems like, yeah, when you're taught to deal with a child in such a way, sometimes it carries over, and teachers' kids will just be horrible, for lack of better words. Horrible.
Mhm.
Um, you know, no discipline, nothing. Because they're dealing with them like you were dealing with somebody else's kid. You know what I mean? And that's kind of a downfall. So, um, something I think people should be careful of, especially as teachers, or anybody that's your job is to deal with other people's kids. Other people's kids and your kids are two different things. And I
Mhm.
realize if there's problems at home potentially with your kids, it could affect work as well. But if it comes down to it, your number one job's a parent. You can still be a broke parent or a parent looking for another job in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, Wood says that the Woods boys run stubborn. Yeah, in my case, I was one of the smart kids in school, but I was also had a very independent streak, and there was times where I didn't like somebody telling me what to do if I didn't want to do it. I had a bad habit of letting them know, and that's what got me in trouble. I ain't doing that. Remember the whole "you'll never talk yourself out of an arrest"? Well, you'll never talk yourself out of a paddling in the principal's office either. But you can damn sure talk yourself into one. Been there, done that. So
You sound like you were a troublemaker, Rich.
no, I just found my way into it.
Getting your ass whooped all the time, all this stuff. See, I got in trouble, but it usually wasn't my doing, where there was police involved or whatever, but usually other people started the problems. So, yeah, thankfully I never really had those that much. There was a miscommunication once, and
It
I
was just
tried to get loud with my dad, telling him, he was wrong or whatever. And then I kind of found myself trying to get up out of the 2 rooms away in the bathtub, but that's about it. He just tossed my ass through a couple rooms, and other than that, I didn't really start no problems. Uh, there was natural problems, things that come up or whatever, but nothing serious like that.
yeah,
At
it
least
was
serious where I was the direct problem. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I might have reacted to something where there could have been trouble involved, but in that situation, I wasn't in trouble at home. So, I might have been in trouble, as they say, but uh, that's self defense. So,
In my case, it was just first through. Well, not even first. It was more like second. No, not second. Third through fifth grade. By the time I hit middle school in sixth grade, I had grown out of it. But my mother always said I went through my teenage years with that early. By the time I got to middle school, when I chilled out a lot, I wasn't like that anymore at that point. Yeah, I was always getting in trouble in between third and fifth grade.
mm, I probably avoided some of mine in a sense by moving out at like 15. So, uh, yeah, probably avoided problems at home with my dad in that sense. So,
Gunpowder says she always got in trouble with her mom. She had maybe 5 ass whoopings from her dad. If she would have been a boy, she would never have made it to be a teenager. And there were times where I thought I was going to come close to not making it. Wood said Catholic school taught him eternal damnation and guilt. Super clear on both of those concepts. One of the biggest troublemakers in our neighborhood was a Catholic school kid. He was always getting in trouble. He basically saved it up for from school so he didn't get in trouble in school, and then every time he turned around he was getting popped for shoplifting or something.
Shoplifting as an adult or as
No, as
a
a kid. As a
Uh,
kid, he would get sentenced like a month in juvie here and there and shit. He was always getting in trouble.
I've seen a bit of that as far as like people that went to the Catholic school and things like that, and it does seem like some of them end up being in a lot of trouble. Uh, usually when they get into the free world, as they say. But I would argue though, a lot of these families they're pretty good off. If they're paying for that to begin with. I mean, these are the people that are always going on vacation 3 times a year, all this type of stuff. A lot of that ended up being trouble, I think, falls back to just getting handed everything in life. You never had a hardship, you never had to struggle, you never had to save to get those sneakers or whatever it is. You don't really understand money. You end up with problems, and your parents are there to bail you out. And then something happens, and you have a fallout with your parents, and real life hits, and you end up being a problem on society. Honestly, is what it seems like. So it's not necessarily just Catholic school people, but it's something a trend I've noticed. Parents tend to, you always want better, so they keep pushing. And well, they're going to school. I gotta buy them a car. Well, no, you don't. They could have been working for a car. Didn't they know they were going to school? You know, yeah, they got nothing to eat. You got to get them some groceries. No, you don't. I mean, if you like them, you want to help them out, sure, but it shouldn't be like they're expecting that from you, depending it from you. You know what I'm saying? It's fine to help out and be nice and do this or that, but I think again, some people they're just way too freaking nice, and then these kids just can't make it on their own. Like you know, without money or family or this or that, you still gotta know how to survive these. You gotta know how to juggle things or prioritize things. But you see it all the time. These kids are just cracking all over the place, and then parents are in denial, and they're 23 and they're still paying their rent and still doing all this shit. And you got other people that were paying their own bills, living on their own at 15. You know, not stating it's better off, but as far as being able to handle your own business, not be a drag on society. I mean, at a certain point, your parents they should be able to live their lives. You shouldn't be, bugging them all the time for shit. Like, these kids should feel guilty at a certain point. You know, some of these people, the parents are in their 70s or 30-year-old people calling up, bitching about their bills and shit. Like, that's, to me, that's harassment at that point. Like, it's abuse on parent abuse. Like, get off the tit, go do, be a grown ass person. You know what I mean? So it's pretty damn sad. And what's going to happen when the parents kick it? Kids are going to blow through the money and then maybe end up with a spouse and then be a leech off from them too. It's like, I don't get it, man. You give them everything, you're setting them up to fail.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to let Rob have the last word on the discussion because we gotta start wrapping this up. I gotta get up early in the morning. So, Gary, anything you want to plug or anything before we get out of here?
Oh, I might have a video or two coming out this next week. I got some I just put out this weekend. Foul Territory coming up Friday night, 250. This coming Friday at 9 p.m. Central. So hope to have everybody there. Other than that, thanks for watching, or thanks for having me, and thanks for watching.
Hey, you can thank him for watching. I got no
Yeah,
problem
you
with that.
bet. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right. Thanks for being on, Gary. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Rob?
I don't really have nothing. Eat a salad, raise good kids. Speak up about it when you're at family functions and people aren't saying something and little ones are running around chewing all over with their mouths open and being little pricks. Say something. Teach them young. Don't be afraid to be the bad guy. Society will thank you. Other than that, that's about it. Thanks for joining us. Stay cool, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being on, Rob. Appreciate it, man. Did you ever get your Christmas card?
Yeah, man. I still got it up. I know it's a bit late, but I figured it was only right to have it up and displayed for a little while. So, but yeah, I've only got one.
You only got the one?
Yep, it's still up right now. So, sitting on the shelf there. Do appreciate it. So, yeah, it's a thought that counts.
Yeah, I still say it's Baltimore's fault.
I thought you were kind of hard up, but I was surprised to see $200 in that. So I do appreciate it. I just made everybody jealous. They got a card. They're like, what?
Yeah, Gary got one. Snob got one, even though he sat there talking shit.
Are you doing this show next week, Rich?
This one, we'll be back by then.
Yeah. I may not be here because there might be a certain ball game on next Sunday night. We may be getting ready to win another Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, I really don't got a dog in the fight on that one.
I was going to say you're free to be on the show.
Anyway, on that note, we'll say good night and keep an eye out. In the next couple of weeks, we'll have some footage from the Great American Outdoor Show, which we'll be going to this week. And going to be some new friends there. Walter's going to be there for the first time, and a couple of Staccato's going to be there this year. They haven't been there before that I can remember. So it'll be interesting to get to check out some of the newer companies that are going to be there. I mean, they're not new companies, obviously, but they're new to the show. So keep an eye out.
It's a good show.
Can I give you a quick tip? At this show, just try it out. Eat some salad, veggies before you go. All right. Don't eat any of the free food that's out there. Free coffee, any of that shit. Don't eat nothing. that's there out for everybody free. And always use a paper towel to open the bathroom door on your way out. You know, there's usually a garbage can right there. Don't touch that with your hand. You know, or the button to flush. If there's a button, use your foot. You can do it. Yeah, but either way, or just walk away. Don't even touch it. Sounds nasty, but don't touch that.
That's what most everybody does.
Yeah, so, yeah, just to try that with the salad and some fruits, you know, and let me know if you get sick. I'm just curious. And don't share entertainment with anybody.
No, we don't eat the free food, man. No, you go upstairs to the banquet hall. This is the trick nobody knows about. Hardly anybody goes up there. They have a buffet lunch with the main course being prime rib roast for $20. All you can eat.
That's awesome, but it started with a buffet.
But it's all fresh cooked stuff.
Yeah, I know, but you do that, you're probably going to get sick. You're going to blow it, man. That's open food sources. You got all them people snotting all over the place.
I just said nobody hardly goes up there.
Man.
The place is always empty.
You get your own risk
on lunchtime and stuff. There's nobody goes up there.
Somebody's got to go up there and cook it.
That's it. I mean, you don't see hardly. I've never seen that place have a crowd up there because nobody knows about it. They all go downstairs to like the food court and whatnot.
Yeah, but you told us the other 6 or 7 people that watch your show heard you. So.
Hey, there were 16 people watching Night Owl. Anyway, have a good week, folks. We will catch y'all later.
Bye.